Hey guys, welcome back. John Megacycle here, another episode of Factorio. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you again, as always. Oh, excuse me, a little bit of hiccup there. Let's see. Iron is a problem. We're gonna stop that for a while. I'm gonna take what I can. Tanks. Oh, tanks are great. Tanks are awesome. Tanks are great. Tanks are awesome. There's my song. It's the whole thing. They're good. And we went a lot of more expensive tech, so that's actually really cool. It was so cheap to get that going. This is all power armor stuff I want eventually, but it's not critical at the moment. I do want level 1 of each module, so productivity module is next. That's a 50-50 red and green. We got plenty there. No problem. No problem. So, I want to start building bots. I think the last thing, I took a break, also known as work. Yeah. So I think the next thing I wanted to start working on is robots, logistics bots specifically. We set up an electric engine facility here. I'm going to go ahead and maybe handcraft these into flying robot frames until we can get the batteries and everything moving around automatically, auto-magically. I'll have to do a little bit of this by hand, not that big of a deal. I'm going to take 400 and start crafting flying robot frames. That's what you need. And then you turn that into the respective bots. So either construction bots with electric circuits or logistics bots with advanced circuits. Cool. We're saturating the wire line fully. That was such a simple thing I was getting really tired of running out of. But I'm glad that's being handled. Batteries, as promised, here's 200 and a bunch. I'm not going to be able to build this many bots anyhow, so there's that. Enjoy. A bon appetito. What do we have here? A little bit of plastic. Get that out of my inventory. I hate it. I want it to go away. We have plenty of advanced circuits, which means that was fast. We don't have enough blue really built up, so I'm still working on red-green tech. I think once we get the robots figured out and the trains figured out, I think that's really when I'm going to want to start working with redoing my manufacturing and our production. Oh, let's see here. Blue, 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 blue. Night vision is a single research. We can just get that done with. Once you research it, it's done. It doesn't lead to anything else, but what you do is you put that in your power armor, and what's awesome about that is it lets you see at night. It gives a greenish tint, but it lets you see pretty darn well at night. I like it. I want to put this in a fairly centralized location. This is probably the topmost part of our manufacturing area, so maybe something like this. Oh no, I want the solid fuels. Can I zoom out anymore? Maybe right about here. It just gets the batteries and everything else. Let's do it right there. Now, we're going to wire this up with electricity. Up. Dun, 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 dun. We could probably knock out some of this other stuff too. There's my baby, personal roboport. That's going to take a while to do and a lot of resources. I'm not really gunning for that, but that is something I want to aim for. Let's get some bullet damage upgrades. Okay, so we powered this up. Here's how this works. When you click on it, the roboport has a bunch of slots for robots. What is this? 8, 2, 4, 6, 7. And a bunch of slots for repair packs, 7 as well. With the construction bots you put in here, you can also put repair packs, and the robots will automatically repair and rebuild anything that's destroyed as long as it's somewhere in the logistics network. For simplicity's sake, the logistics robots just run around like idiots and move things. There's not really much to explain about them. But either way, we're going to work on building a logistics network. So it's a little hard to tell because it's nighttime, but you can see the yellow line in between the two roboports I'm trying to work with here. As long as the yellows touch, you know what, I should probably just wait for day to do much explaining. Yeah, because I can hardly see it. I'm just going to grab a bunch of this. And actually, we could go right to logistics robots because the raw materials are the electric engine. So I'm just going to take that, thank you very much, and there, just give me 15. Because we already have a bunch of the frames, that's just going to automatically work its own deal whenever it gets ready. I'm happy with that. We have some coal. Let's check on our plastic production. I can't see crap. Foolishly, I am, but I should have made lights around here. If you think you can't see, guess what? Johnny can't see none too good either. Let's see here. Lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good enough. Good start. Just ding, ding. Who cares? Ding. Oh, I didn't mean that at all. I wanted to get zealous. I didn't want to get crazy. Bing. And shuding. Okay. It's daytime anyhow. That's good. So let's work on these roboports. As I said, yellow dotted line. Hey, now we can see stuff. Awesome. The yellow area, or orange, off whatever color that is, as long as the area is touch, they'll build a little line, and that's how you connect roboports. Now I'm going to go path least distance here. We could angle it over there, and there is going to be a little overlap. That's fine. When your systems really get overhauled and you're really using a lot of these robots for your freighting goods aroundness, like trying to really move product around, you're going to want to give them the least possible path to get to where they want to go. Now we're going to set up a third. Same thing, I'm going to just zoom way out. If we connect these, we can now build a triangle and some sort of a grid. That way, okay, well, hold on, one second please. Bullet shooting speed sounds great. The robots will actually go to, this kind of builds a nice network, so that way if they've got to go somewhere, there's a little mesh of support. The way the robots work is they have a certain amount of power inside of them. They will go pretty much as far as they can, and then their movement speed will be greatly reduced until they can plug in. So it's important that we try to keep these roboports nested or close or within as much working territory as possible. I like that right there. We can always recheck the range if we just hover over a roboport. That's going to again bring up the grid. Again, green is construction, yellow or orange or whatever color that is logistics. So as long as we remember that, what range is going to cover what, from now on everything in the orange will respond to logistics chests. Now once we get some of these logistics bots up and running, I'm just going to grab a little more advanced circuit because I don't ever want to manually craft anything I don't have to. Even though, yeah, I know I'm actually manually crafting a crap ton of these logistics bots, but 15 is enough to at least get us somewhat started. Take that, thank you very much. Now, in addition, we've already talked about the chests and what they do. We have the storage and the active provider, probably the two, no, I take that back. Requester is probably going to be one of the more important ones we're going to use. So here's what we're going to do. For right now, I'm going to call this a, let's see, a passive provider, I'd say. I want one of these for the plastic. What else do we need? I want one for batteries. So plastic batteries. What other solid outputs do we have? Engines. I want one for, let's see, electric engines. And I need a requester. I need a few more things here. So what am I missing? A smart chest. I need steel. Okay, let's grab some steel. This is another thing that later on we're just going to want to mass produce these things, but I just really want to get the foundation done this episode. So yoink, yoink. And actually there's probably a bunch, yep, bunch just sitting right there. Okay, so we have a few more options. So let's see here. I have batteries, plastic. Let's see, chess, or this is electric. No, I'm not close to normal engines. I need another roboport. So engines and, let's see, what do we want to request? Here we can actually start requesting the other things like coal and copper and all this other crap to really start automating. Anyway, I've got my 15 logistics bots, so I'm just going to dump them in here. They will, if you, actually, let's take this a step back. If you hover over the Roboport to Zoo, you can't name the Roboports, right? No, I like Roboport to Zoo. That's a good one. Anyway, if you look on the right, you see the health, how much energy it requires, the robot recharge rate. So getting a bunch of robots is going to really take a lot out of our energy grid. So we need to make sure that that is up to snuff. A supply area and a construction area, which we've already explained. The 50 by 50 and the 100 by 100 is the orange and green area. Whoop. And then down below that is the available logistics and the available construction bots. This gives you an idea of what robots are available out of how many you have. So let's work on this a little bit. Let's start with batteries. Let's get some, I'm going to need some requester chests. So right now, batteries. I'm going to remove this and I'm going to put a passive provider chest right here. I'm going to put the batteries back. There they went. Now, if I hover over it, it'll say that it has itself 157 batteries, and if you look at the very bottom on the right, the logistics center, the logistic system storage has 157 batteries on it. Now, any requester chest that needs batteries can come to this chest and pull it. I'm going to do the same thing with plastic right there. Just dump the plastic back. Now, we see in the logistics system storage on the right, plastics and batteries. So now we're starting to make these commodities available to our entire network. So there we go. And we're going to do the same thing with these engines here. And actually, you know what? I'm going to take those right away and... Oh, I need batteries. Whoops, I actually need those so I can build more bots. So I'm going to build a few more by hand, and then hopefully we can get to a point where I'm not building anything else by hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I think is what I need for 5. That is perfect. We're also going to strip this. These are going to be in a... I'm going to need a few more passive providers, yeah. And then also requester. Let's talk about requester chests. Are we out of stuff? What is happening here? Hang on a second. My batteries aren't batterying. Okay, you hang on. 1 iron plate, 1 copper, 2 sulfuric. Is that not what I have? Oh, this is out of iron plates. Okay, right. Let's go ahead and just add some to get the system going. Now, I'm going to steal this, and I'm going to steal this. I have a better way to do all of this, actually. We're going to use the ground as storage again, but check this out. I'm going to put a requester chest right here. This requester chest has the new logistics slots that I mentioned before. I want 100 iron and 100 copper in this chest at all times, okay? That's what I want to have happen. Now, I'm going to go and show you what's going to happen when I create a storage chest. Oh, we're actually still working on robots, are we? Okay. Do I have another provider chest? Oh, I went the wrong way. I don't. I have a passive provider chest. Let's just get a storage chest. And 2 storage chests. Sounds good. So what this is going to do is this is going to store up the items in these chests. If it makes perfect sense, it'll make perfect sense when I show you. But I'm just going to do this where it's dead. We're going to put down a chest like I mentioned, and then we're just going to see the magic happen. Now, what we have, I'm going to scroll out to the RoboPort. We're within the orange, so this is going to meet the requirement. And actually, you know what? I'm going to chuck these 5 more. Whoops. 5. There we go. Okay. So now we have 20 available logistics robots. I'm going to put this storage chest down. What this is going to do is this is going to store the copper. The robots are going to detect it, and they're going to come and get it. Okay? So let's just do this real quick. There's that. Storage chest is full. I'm hovering over it. There are orders. You see -1 bouncing around. The robots will come and take it because there's an order to be fulfilled. Now the other robots, you can probably see them, they're coming as well. Now don't forget, these robots have a couple of levels of research on them. And speaking of which, we already had level 2 robot speed upgrade, and we had the level 1 robot cargo size. So they're pulling 2 items, and this is 2 levels advanced up. So these guys are slow to start off. It is a little rough to get off the ground. You need a lot of robots to get a lot of throughput. But this removes us from building a chain all the way up there. Now these guys will keep this up until... I'm just going to dump all the copper I had in my inventory anyway. These guys are going to keep this up until the orders are fulfilled. That's the whole point of the logistics robots. Again, it's one less thing we have to run and go put somewhere. Can I have another chest, please? And actually... yeah, make another RoboPort, please. We already have all the advanced circuits on us, so I'm not worried about that. We're going to do the same thing here. Just pull this out. Storage chests. There's probably good. Oh, no, you know what? I want this at the end of the line. And same thing. Boop. Now we have iron in our logistics system, and anything that's going to request any iron is going to come here and get it. Now, I'm hovering over the Roboport. This is Roboport Ethan. This has 0 of 20 available logistics spots. So they're going to work day and night until the orders are filled. So that being said, with how much we're going to be consuming and how quickly these guys can ferry stuff back and forth, this isn't ideal for throughput at this point, how low level they are, but I at least wanted to show you how this is all going to work. This is going to cover far more of our network, so let's just plop this right there. Perfect. And as our guys are running over a bunch, like back and forth, really starting to ferry these goods, we might want multiple roboports just to make sure they're not running out of juice halfway. That's an even bigger danger, is if these guys are running low on juice, if they're not charging properly or charging often enough, it's going to be a bit of an issue. But I at least want to show you the bare foundation of logistics spots, and that's what I wanted to cover today at least. And we're going to show you how they're dumping the product into the system. There we go. Now this should have, yeah, it's loading up. So these are the requests. This is what it has in its inventory. I'm going to help out my bots a little bit. Just dump a little bit, speed this process up a tad. But these guys will maintain the status for us, and now we have effectively limitless battery production. Actually, this was bad on me. I need a smart inserter. Good. I did it this way because I didn't want to have multiple chests. I just wanted the one chest. So one chest is being filled. We're pulling iron, in this case, out of both. Fantastic. That is pulling and putting iron in there. Fantastic. I like what's happening. I like what's happening here. How much is in there? Tons of sulfur. Excellent. Now, we have character logistics slots. I'm going to go for level 2 on that, but let me walk you through this as well. Now, as I mentioned before, we can treat ourselves as if we're a storage chest. We can set a filter and a quantity of whatever we want, saying I want 100 satellites on me at all times if it's within the network. You can do this with almost anything, I think. Except liquids, clearly, because that would be messy. But anything in here, you can go ahead and just say, I want to have, like, ammo. Ammo is a really good example of that. I want to have 100 armor-piercing rounds on me at all times. So if you go around, kill some stuff, or fill up some turrets yourself, the benefit is every time you come back to base, you should have all that ammo. Okay, that is working full tilt. We have a little excess petroleum. I'm happy to see that. That's good. Okay, so now we probably still have, okay, so 16 of 20 logistics spots right now. That means we actually have a few idle. That's good. So right now what I wanted to treat the logistics robots as almost a, okay, so we need green. So I'd like another requester chest here. This is going to request, and let's just do this real quick here. Let's just leave that all there. I want to request engines, and let's just say 10 engines. How many do we need to make one of these? 1, that's fine. Then I also want to request 20 electric circuits because I'm multiplying it by 10. So if we do 1 engine, 2 circuits, that's 10 and 20, no problem. So even if there's a lag and the robots can't get here fast enough, we'll still have that available. Lubricant, we don't need to do anything with. It's pumping direct. And this passive provider chest is ready to give us more supply of the electric engines. Now, even cooler thing. I don't have any green chips on me, dang it. Even cooler thing is I can bring this down here without running more pipes or more belts or anything, and I can incorporate that right into my bus just using these logistics spots. It makes it a lot easier when we really start to think about it. So here's what I want to do about this. I want a buffer right here. Okay, hang on. This is going to get a little messy. Grabber right there. So I want the mass assembly line to stay full at all times, but I do want a passive provider. You can also use storage chests, the regular storage logistics chests. They don't have to be the providers, but now we're stockpiling. Now we're stockpiling the electronics. This is acting as a really nice buffer. Everything we're going to need the green electronics for is going to be sedated because it's pulling from the chest, but we have some excess. So now the logistics spot should be coming down here pretty soonish. There we go. Pulling the green chips, pulling them up. It's again another whole piece of production I don't have to worry about at all. It works out sweet. Let's get another, actually, where's my range here? Okay, cool. I have just enough range for steel, so let's get 1, 2, 3 more passive providers. Ding, there's that. Now we have steel in the network. And do we get close enough for... No, we don't. The next step was going to be to put a requester chest for this plastic. Actually, how close are we? That would be just annoying on toast. Just to prove a point. That's okay. I don't mind feeding... Oh, now I do. I was gonna say, nah, it's okay. I don't mind. I don't mind feeding plastic into this machine manually. And then I looked at it and I'm like, oh crap, yes, I totally do. Let's say 100 plastic is a requester. I'm gonna pull this and this, and we're gonna do something like this. And I'm out of wires. Go figure. Here, just give me 42. Perfect. And then this is gonna do a little something like this. Get out of here. And I don't care if it's double saturated, but let's maintain the status quo. There we go. That'll take care of the side. Logistics bots will take care of all the plastic for me. And nope, I need some of that back. Thank you. There we go. Now, see, here's the problem. See them ducking out and getting recharged? They're not... That distance to fly is too long. Yep, some of them are going right for refuel immediately. Okay, so that takes care of our plastic problem, more or less. Let's just dump that in there. Very good. We're probably full up. Yeah, we're at 0 of 20 bots. Do we have enough blue science to get some stuff done? I hope we do. I really need the speed or the carriage capacity. Oh, actually, we need alien science for that. Let's do that right now. Alien technology is going to give us alien science. You take an alien artifact, you put it in a factory, or I can't ever remember their names. Assembly machine, holy crap, and it'll produce purple science. I believe it's a 1 to 10 ratio. So, not too bad of a deal, but that'll unlock purple tech for us. Let's get that done. That one's going to take a little bit longer. Excuse me, which is good because that'll free up more time for blue tech. Now, how many circuits do we have here? 83. Excellent. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to change up these inserters so that way they are fast inserters, ensuring that these regular inserters that we're building get first pick of the circuits. It looks like we're out of iron at the moment. But what this will do is this will ensure these guys get first pick of the componentry, and then of course, like I said, our main line gets first pick of the componentry as well. It's electronic circuits. I keep calling them components. I don't know why, but that'll take care of that. So we at least now have minimized, at least reduced, a lot of the running around we're doing. Now the problem is we're going to have to take a little bit better care on how this works, considering not all of the systems that we're building can handle all this iron and stuff being stripped away. So let's do something like that. That still ensures there's plenty in the network, and we're pulling it at a much slower rate for all of our other machines. Also, again, we are dangerously low on iron. Let's see here. I think I put the expansion cards in those things, didn't I? Or nope, totally didn't. Okay, we're going to actually use these speed modules. Increased pollution, but also increased speed, and that's what I really want. It's really the point that right now the resources are finite, and I need them pulled off as quickly as possible. What we should be doing is using also a productivity module, but I don't have a ton of that stuff lying around just to use. If that made any sense, probably not. That's okay. All right, I do want some more speed modules. I'm not buying electric circuits. Forget that. I'm not going to make them by hand. Is what I'm trying to say. I'm just going to come up to this chest here. That should give me sure 8. There we go. And we could do the exact same thing with these chips as well, which I want to do. So I need another. I need steel. Hi. Thanks. I need a passive provider. Now, I think I explained the difference between a passive provider and an active provider, but let's go through it one more time. We're effectively going to build storage rooms full of these storage chests. They're just things to hold other things. That was maybe the most profoundly stupid thing I've ever said, and maybe the most profound thing I've ever said. I haven't decided which. Let's see, I wanted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. Okay, back to this. We're going to build these. These are going to hold items. They're just transient holding bins. You're just going to put them there for a minute. You'll come back to it later. No big deal. The requester chests, obvious what they do. We've been doing passive provider chests, which are, hey, I'll hold on to this for you, and I'm going to make sure you know I have it, but you don't have to remove it from my inventory. Just get it whenever you want. The active provider chest is, it's in my inventory, I want it out now. Just get it out of my way as soon as possible. That's going to be more handy if we have something like iron plates. If we're going to take items off of a line and put them in an active provider chest, we want them out. Like, we want to keep a chest empty all the time, but we still want its product in the logistics network. Maybe that's a bad idea or a bad explanation, but that's the explanation I got. So we're going to do the exact same thing here. We're just going to build that buffer. That buffer is going to work its butt off. We've now added that to the logistics network. Now, if you look to the right, we've got some pretty solid resources sitting in our network. Not too shabby. What we can do is we can set up whole factories like this just with these chests. We don't have to use any more of this, any more of the actual belts. Blah. I couldn't even remember belts. We don't have to use any of the belts anymore if we didn't want to and if our logistics bots were up to snuff. Newsflash, they're not up to snuff, and we've got a little bit more work to do with them. But I at least wanted to demonstrate this episode how those guys work, because they're awesome, and I miss them terribly every time I start a new game. Can you give me that? That goes there. Good. That should hopefully up our production a bit. And I'll take that. I'll take that. Thanks. Now, those logistics bots, like I said, are going to suck up a bit of juice, so we need to be a little careful about how we use them. Next up is, let's get 2 assembly machines, and let's see here. The assembly machines are going to be for the purple, for the alien technology. So we're going to do this, and this is going to be pretty straightforward. Something like that. Something like that. And these things, like I said, will produce 10 at a time. Did I build my chips? How many slots do these things take? I don't care right now. 2. Now, here's a case where the resources are very limited, and I don't care how long it takes to make them, but I want more output. So I think what I'm going to use are productivity modules for these alien artifacts. It's going to be a real pain to get a ton of these things. I got to go all military on somebody, which isn't the problem, but it still becomes a problem. So let's see here. Energy consumption up, speed down, productivity up, pollution up. If we want to counteract that pollution, we could easily put in an efficiency module, and then if we want to make it even faster, we can do a speed module which ups the energy consumption even more, and the pollution with it. Let's at least get 2 productivity modules. Now for this is going to be pretty simple stuff here. We're going to have our chest, and I'm going to make this a requester chest. Do I have a requester chest? I don't. The cool thing about the requester chest is here I'm going to be able to say, I want you to request all the alien artifacts all the time when it's ready. It's not quite ready yet. We're still researching the tech. Let's just take these productivity modules. Oh, it has to be producing something before I can put the modules in, huh? Alright, fair enough. Requester chest right here. I'm going to request for alien artifact all the time. 20,000. Max it out. If there's any alien artifacts anywhere in the system, I want to make sure this chest has it. Once the alien technology is built, we'll turn these into the red science, purple science? Yeah, purple science. We'll turn it to purple science, and then we're going to be able to cram all the chips in here. The way productivity works, let me see if I can get a good example real quick here. The way productivity works is an additional bar is created. Let's just do this. For every so often the green bar fills, which is how much it's building, a purple bar is added and starts to fill as well. When the purple bar is full, you'll get another output of product, which might not be a bad idea for my blue science now that I think about it. But that's how this works. When this fills, it'll be like as if we just produced another product for free. You don't pay the ingredients, you don't pay anything. I'm just going to remove those back out because our alien technology is almost ready, but I actually would like 4 of these to add into one of each of these machines. Not a bad idea. It's one of those things that I know the process is going to take a while, but we're low on resource, so I want to make every output count. Speaking of which, what in the heck is taking so long? Hang on, what do you need? Iron? All the iron ever. I'm getting super impatient here. Okay, that should speed up nicely. Now, you are purple science. You are purple science. You may have one of these. You may have one of these. It'll produce a little slower now that we have the productivity module. It's negative 15% speed, but it's just going to produce science like crazy. And actually, you know what? I just noticed a problem. Yep, I just noticed a problem. The blue science is on the wrong side. Or, more emphatically, the purple science is on the wrong side. How do I want to... Yeah, I mean, I'll do it like this, sure. Why not? There we go. It's dumb, it's low tech, but dadgum, it works. Son of a gun. You think I got something brains in my head. Something like it. Cool. There's purple science. Now the single track that we have, I need one of those things. I need one of those things. Now the single track that we have for each of our sciences is now doubled. So like this is what I was originally planning. Red and green, blue and purple. We'll get a nice stockpile of everything, and now we can hit all the tech, no problem. So let's see. Purple tech for logistic robot speed 3. It gives an additional 45%, I believe. I believe that's how that works. It's not 45% total. It's from a... It doesn't matter. It's more speed. Ding! Good. We'll be producing purple science pretty readily. Yeah, especially with the productivity modules, this is going to work out pretty sweet. So I'm happy with that. We need to figure out our iron problem. I mean, I guess I already figured it out. We have a problem. I'm also not seeing any new green tech being produced because iron. That's why. All right. Stop. That's enough for the logistics network. We need to start actually stockpiling iron. The bigger problem I'm having now is we're going to run out of supply pretty darn fast. So I think that's good for next episode. Oh, I should be able to grab some more logistics bots and handcraft those pretty darn quick, I hope. But aside from that, I think I am going to call this an episode. Still running low on resources, story of my life. We got our robot network set up. I'm really happy with that. That really makes me giggle a bit. Oh, 25. That's awesome. Let's start with 20. And I need batteries. Awesome. We'll easily grab 50 batteries, and we're on our way. But we got our robot network set up, as I was trying to say. Next up, we're going to start messing around with trains. I need to really start getting some resources in here on the quick, and a lot of it. So, thanks for joining me, guys. Really appreciate it. John Megacycle calling an episode here, and I'll catch you next time.